Hello and welcome to another This Week in Anthem. As the new year is rapidly approaching, the Anthem information continues to ramp up. This last week saw access to the closed alpha, a new trailer at the Game Awards, a new Legion of Dawn trailer, our first look at loot, and of course, more Twitter Q&A. Kicking things off today is the all-new Anthem trailer, revealed during the Game Awards, revealing a little more about the lore, villains, and in brief, the chaos that encompasses the world of Anthem. Alongside this kind of funny, we're able to get Mike Gamble himself to break down the major points of the trailer, which is actually really good and highlights some of the details that might be a bit vague within the trailer itself. In addition to this trailer, there was another one released at the end of the week, specifically on the Legion of Dawn, which we'll also be covering today. So on the topic of the Game Awards trailer, the theme of this trailer is that of struggle, chaos, and for the desire of control, setting the structure for the overarching story of Anthem. It opens up with a struggling Ranger pilot, as a cloaked figure walks by, giving us our first clue of who the narrator is. The setup being that you think it's the pilot, when in fact it's the cloaked figure, who I'll get to in just a minute. The rest of the trailer is looking backwards, and setting the foundations of how powerful the Anthem of Creation is. Its ability to both create and destroy. As easily as life can be made, it can be eradicated. And that our civilization is not the first, but one of many that has tried to fight it back. The next in this foundation is who stands against this destruction, through the introduction of our crew, Halleck, Faye and Owen. That only by working together do we have hope, but never to underestimate the power of the Anthem. Along this are many story hooks, with references to the Heart of Rage, one of the oldest and most powerful side effects of the Anthem, one that no one has been able to quell. At best, we've been able to weather through the power unleashed, but never stopping it. The next is a line from Faye as she sits within a cipher chair, a device that is used to boost their inherent abilities to communicate telepathically. Unlike most, Faye is unique as she has actually tapped into and heard the Anthem of Creation directly, as confirmed by Mike Gamble, sensing an all-new power and threat. We have a callback to the lineage of the Freelancers, who were once a large force pushing back the Anthem. Although in the current timeline they are no longer a prominent force, reduced to contractors. From here we tap into the true meaning of this trailer, setting up the villains in the form of the Dominion. The voice is that of the Monitor, an incredibly powerful member of the Dominion and someone who thinks they have the way to harness the power of Anthem and create an all-new world in their image. Mike also talks on this point, explaining that they aren't necessarily doing it to be evil, but because they think they are right, blinded to the faults in their logic, which will make up a large part of the story within the game. The final part is somewhat more sinister, and hints at the plans of the Monitor, who up to this point has completed the first stage of their plan. I think this in-game will actually be a flashback, or something from the very beginning, with this Ranger either being us or someone of great importance that leads to the downfall of the Freelancers. With the Monitor seemingly in control of Anthem, at least temporarily, they have the power to create, or at least control some of its rage. In the background here, for example, we can see a creature called the Fury, that has the same style as the Dominion javelins, with the circles glowing red, indicating being under their control. We can then jump to the loss of hope section as the end of this trailer, as the Fury unleashes the power of Groot on what I think might be Sentinel javelins. All in all, a very good story-focused trailer. This Week in Anthem is intended more of a news roundup, so I'm considering making some more lore-specific videos, collating all of the information we have from this and other cinematics to try and prepare everyone for the war to come. Speaking of which, we had a second trailer drop, dedicated to the Legion of Dawn, its leader, and mostly promoting the Legion of Dawn edition of the game, which showcases this fancy special armor and rifle that comes with that edition. This is, as far as I recall, the first time we have any real understanding of who the Legion of Dawn were, featuring a voiceover from the very first freelancer and founder, Helena Tarsis. She led the fight to save humanity, in what I would assume was decades if not centuries before the current timeline of the game. Although she died defending humanity against what I suspect is a previous flare-up of the Heart of Rage, the Legion of Dawn continued in her footsteps, creating Fort Tarsis in her honour and ultimately leading us to the current political climate. It may just be some speculation on my part, but I suspect that the fall of the Legion of Dawn was due to the creation of the Dominion, who wanted to take control of the Anthem of Creation, and the rest of society that wanted to just stop it altogether and prevent the inevitable chaos and possible corruption it can cause. Both of these cinematics are worth watching at least once though, so I encourage you to go watch them, after this video of course, and check them out if you haven't already. The other major Anthem related news from this week is the livestream covering our first look at loot, progression and the mindset behind it. I've already covered this in another video, just a few days ago, so be sure to check that out, and I'll also link the full VOD below in case you missed it. I will say that I was very happy with the stream. Loot is taking almost the exact direction I was hoping for, and even in its current state, it will easily put games like Destiny and The Division to shame. Now as always, we move on to the constant Anthem AMA, and the Twitter feed of Mark Dara. Our first question for today is related to having multiple freelancers on the same account, which is something you might want to do so you can experience all of the story options in Anthem, but otherwise has no benefits as far as I'm aware, which as you've probably guessed is important for this question. Is there a way to transfer or have access to account-wide vaults to give gear to your other freelancers? The answer is simply no. Makes some sense as it will discourage people running multiple freelancers to cheese their way through progression, but I can see people wanting to go back and make new decisions without losing 100% of their progress. I'm not too sure how this would impact the game come release, as we really don't have enough information, though this does make some sense at the time of writing this. Next up, a question about the upcoming demo in January, which will also carry over to the others before launch. Can we record and stream these gameplay sessions? Yes we can, which is good news for everyone. We'll all be able to share our experiences, and something that's important to content creators like myself, we will no longer just have to show you the official stream and trailer as B-roll. We can more specifically record content to emphasize points, and provide better content in general. While on the topic of the demo, someone else asked if they will get to see character creator in the demo. Unfortunately, the answer to this is no. I suspect because we will be seeing a slice of the game that might take place a little later on, and they haven't really put much emphasis on the customization due to how little it's ultimately going to be used. Though to me the Javelin customization is far more important, and more than makes up for the lack of time spent with character customization for cutscenes. A cosmetic focus question up next. Will skin provide additional sound effects and visual effect changes to Javelins? This is similar to one we've seen before, which for the time being is no, but it's something Mark Dara and the team would really like to add post-launch. This is about the only cosmetic missing from the Forge. The ability to look how you want is already top notch. Having these type of options would really hit the top tier of customization, and if you want some idea of what these can look like in games, check out Path of Exile, a truly excellent free-to-play game with amazing cosmetics. Now onto some lore, specifically related to Helena Tarsis, what kind of javelin she piloted. As you'll notice, this isn't the same as the other Legion of Dawn skins, although similar. That's because she has a rather unique javelin that is not quite like the others, which explains her giant sword instead of a shield. However, her design has been confirmed to be based on the Colossus chassis. And the final question for today is, do the players that get to try the alpha have access to forums? I included this more to make a point. If you did get to try the alpha, please make sure to go fill out your surveys and leave as much feedback as possible. You have the best chance of making a difference, so go read through these forums, add your thoughts and participate in making the best game for everyone. Even if you just complete the survey portion, it's a great help to the team at BioWare. That brings us to the end of another This Week in Anthem. As always, I want to hear your thoughts on anything Anthem, and you can find links to everything I covered in the description below. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like. You can subscribe to support the channel, and use the bell for notifications of content as it goes live. Until next time, I've been Dantir, thanks for watching.